am here at the Planet Fitness in the local parking lot of my Planet Fitness. That is where I am. I'm about 30 minutes early, which is pretty much on brand for me. And I'm just kind of talking about how I'm feeling before I go in. And then I'm going to talk about how I feel when I come out. I already met one of the people named Ray. She liked my crochet sweater. She's like, "Oh, do you crochet?" I was like, "Crochet all day." It was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm gonna go in. They're gonna ask me. Oh, I forgot my spoons again. I put cold spoons in the fridge because my eyes were puffy, and I freaking forgot again. I'm sorry, eyes. I'm sorry, eyeballs. I'm sorry. Anyhow, I'm not really nervous. I don't get nervous for interviews simply because I know what to expect. They're going to ask me questions and I'm going to give them answers. I worked for a very long time in customer service and following orders and rules and instructions, so none of that is new to me. But my position that I would be working is overnight. So they said from 10, I think they said 10 to 4 or 10 to 6. Something like that. And they said I'd be working front desk / cleaning. I'm assuming that's just because there's less people who come in overnight. So like, I don't really know how that's supposed to work. I guess like, what if I'm like cleaning in the bathroom and cleaning in the showers and someone comes in to check in? How am I supposed to know that they're here? I don't know how I would do that. Well, whatever. So that's what they said the position is, but I don't get nervous about interviews because, like I said, I know what to expect. It's when I don't know what to expect that I get nervous. So yeah, this is probably the best job out of all the places I applied for, simply because it's overnight, which means it'll be easier to share my mom's car or other cars that we have at the house. There's technically 3 cars, but only one of them is really mobile. So she works on her actual job 3 days a week, and then she works from home 2 days. But working overnight is the easiest because my sister also goes to work and we drive her, so I'm competing with 2 other schedules in the house with 1 vehicle. So I was like, this makes the most sense, where I won't have to be so stressed out before even getting to work about how I'm going to get to work. So overnight was what I was looking for, and I originally applied at Target for overnight, and it didn't happen, so maybe it wasn't meant to. But they called me, and I answered the phone, which, if you know me, does not really happen. So answered, they asked, I said okay. They said it's $13 an hour, and they said it could potentially be 3 shifts a week, but mostly just 2. Not the greatest, but I did the math of $13 an hour for how many hours minus taxes, and then how much that would be per week, which would equal how much a month. And I would still be able to make enough to like at least start paying some debts. So I'm learning to, they say beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, so this is what I've got, so this is what I'm taking. So I'm going to just sit now with myself for a little bit, and then I will check back in here when the interview is over. So I just came back from my interview, and working for a movie theater for 7 years and customer service as my first job, working in Walgreens as customer service, working at World Market overnight, working at an animal clinic, working at Whole Foods as a grocery team member. All of those years of customer service prepared me for this moment, and I went in there for the overnight position at $13 an hour, and he just said that, well, today's Monday, on Saturday, one of his shift leaders put in their 2 weeks because they're growing and moving somewhere else. My stomach is growling because I'm hungry. And that the moment he met me and started talking to me, he's like, wow, she's got the thing that he said you can't train people all the time for customer service, like personality. And he's like, I know you're interviewing for the overnight position, but I really like you for a shift lead position and it's $1 more and I can get you more hours. And I was like, okay, because I don't know the reason why I would say no, other than like I said, I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to like get here without issues with the cars. But he did say that he would give me the exact same days, so then we could plan better. So that here's to hoping that it, all flows and works out. I wasn't necessarily prepared to be like interacting with people that much. I kind of wanted to work overnight more, but I'm not going to say no to more money and more hours. So I said yes. He said everyone there, and I also said yes because I was looking at the personality of everyone there, and he said that the community, the people who come here to work out are really nice. His staff is all really awesome. He's hired really great staff. It's right next to Chick-fil-A, so I'm sure some of that my pleasure attitude is here, but his staff seem really nice. So I imagine I'll be around people who are, but I did say, I was like, well, if you're hiring for shift lead, the only thing I would want to ask is is any of your staff currently interested in being in that position? I don't want to come in and step on someone. So he's like, no, a lot of my staff, yes, they're all great, but they're really new and I don't necessarily think they're ready for that yet. I'm like, you just met me. But it's the Capricorn rising. It's the Capricorn rising. So that is what happened. I have been offered the shift lead position during the day. I think he said from 2 to 10 is when I would be doing it, which shouldn't interfere too much. It'll interfere with my mom's schedule on certain days of the week, so I'm gonna have to take my mom's husband's truck and hope that it's okay, and then eventually get the van checked out so that I can just drive the van. But the inspection is expired and I can't afford to pay for the stuff to fix for a failed inspection yet. So this is what's happening right now. Maybe if I get this position, my husband will switch cars with me and then we'll go from there. But he offered me, he said he's going to speak to his AM manager or someone. You can tell I was in the sun all day yesterday, and call me back later this afternoon about the position. So we shall see. Just a little update. I did unbraid my locks, by the way. This is why my hair looks like this, but I think I have almost completely decided that locks is not for me, and maybe I'm supposed to have braids. But I'm gonna wait because while Venus is transiting Taurus, I think it said not to, even though I feel like that makes sense to do it then. But anyway, this is an update because last you guys heard from me, and I wanted to record before it happened today. I had gotten offered that position at Planet Fitness. Well, I applied yesterday because I got home, and then I was looking on Indeed. Of course, see, this is also why I don't want to do the locks, because of Lint. I gone on Indeed and saw that they had opened up a position for a place that I applied to originally that was a little too far away. They were the first people who reached out to me, but unfortunately the location was too far. I was like, dang it, I wish it was closer. And then they opened up a position that was closer. I was like, oh my gosh, they just posted this 2 days ago. I wish I would have seen this before going to Planet Fitness. So I still applied anyway, in case they paid more and had more hours. And so I applied yesterday, got an email. What's today? Yeah. I got an email about a phone interview the same day. So I had the interview today at 3:30, and it went really well. They were like, well, how'd you hear about us? And I was like, actually, I was door dashing, which I'm about to do right now. I was like, actually, I was door dashing and I had a delivery for here. And then I came in and I was like, what is this place? And I just was like, I definitely would be interested in working here. And we talked a little bit. She didn't really ask me a lot of questions. It was kind of just, I think, getting to know my personality. And then she said, okay, great. Can you come in tomorrow, 3:30? I'll give you a walk around. So she didn't tell me how much it pays, but she said it was 4 days a week, 8 to 5. And that's quite a bit of time. So I would also be doing lots of physical, laborious things in a greenhouse, which I'm okay with because I would prefer, and this is just me, I would prefer to work in a greenhouse, sweating and getting dirty throughout my shift, and then have my work done, be paid, and have worked out, than working at a place where other people work out and I'm standing behind the desk, potentially around people that I might get anxious around. So This one is more ideal for me. So I'm really hoping tomorrow when I go, everything flows and it aligns exactly as I want it to. I am door dashing right now though, just to see if I can make anything something, because essentially and wholly and totally, if I had it my way, I still wouldn't really be working for anyone but myself. So I don't always have the money to DoorDash, but as I start making money from working somewhere else, then I can still have time to do this and make even extra money. But in order to like have DoorDash is not sustainable long term. Let me just say that, unless you have an electric vehicle. I don't think it makes any sense financially, because you're using so much money for gas, especially if you're not getting high paying orders. I think DoorDash would be great, like if you already have a regular paying job and then you wanted to like have money just to go spend on clothing or food or doing stuff for you. You could go do door dashing for like an hour, make like $50, and then go take yourself out to eat and get yourself something nice. That's kind of how I would see door dashing in the future once I have another income. But ultimately, I still don't really want to work for anyone else. In the grandest, most brightest, bestest scheme of things, my ideal like work environment would be not working. Not only just because as a human design projector I'm not really meant to be working, but working in a different way. Like I want to be connected to the earth, I want to be gardening, I want to be rested and regulated, I want to make my own schedule, I want to be able to offer services to people that come to me for those things, that are inviting me as a projector to do that. I've done Reiki, I've done oracle readings, I've done tarot readings, I've made crochet items, I've wrapped crystals, I used to make essential oil blends, I like making herbal tea blends, but I have not yet found a way to create any of those things sustainably long term that doesn't contribute to plastic and waste, that doesn't contribute to feeding another system. Like, I haven't found it yet, essentially is what I'm trying to say. And I also haven't found the type of value within my wisdom that makes a large difference to a good collective of people enough on YouTube to be able to sustain myself with YouTube either. I haven't been able to do it through trying to build on Instagram. I haven't really been able to do it on TikTok. I don't know if it's just my personality, maybe it's just like the way people receive me, maybe the way I receive myself, but like, you know, those people that you watch and you're like, wow, they found their tribe, they found their little collective. Like, I have not found that on YouTube, which is pretty crazy because I've been on YouTube since 2019 now. So I'm like, well, maybe I guess my people aren't on the internet, but I feel like I don't know people in my like physical life. But I was really thinking, YouTube is going to be the thing. This is going to be how I'm going to support myself, is by finding my tribe on YouTube. And then I'll be able to have the time and the space and the energy to create things more holistically, more intentionally, and sustainably, because I'll have the time, energy, and space to do that. But it just hasn't been working. So I'm just sharing what I can, how I can, when I can, in hopes that other people who eventually may find this and feel like I do are seeing what I'm growing through and going through, because I'm most likely going to be compiling this all into just like a little like capsule of moments in my life. Freaking out about not having any money. I don't have my own car. I'm driving my mom's husband's car right now. Did you want me to wash that? Oh, my mom just messaged me. Living at my mom's house, like not having a home of my own. It's been a lot. I am grateful that I've had both of these interviews, and it's been beneficial for me to go to both instead of just having chosen one, and to see how my body feels after both, to see like just closing my eyes and imagining like, okay, I'm going into this to do this, or I'm going over here to do that, and seeing what it feels like. And like I said, the ultimate goal for me would still be technically to not have to do either, to be able to work for myself, to be able to sustain myself through sharing the gifts and the wisdom that I have. I just haven't found a way to do that yet. I don't know what that way is yet. At 30 years old, I don't know what that is yet, which is kind of crazy, but I owed it to myself to at least do something. I still feel quite fatigued when I wake up and for most of the day. I'm getting better about that. Really, I'm just going to have to get over it and kick it into gear when it comes time to start working, which will most likely be next week. So this is like kind of like my final week to like rest and regulate my nervous system before I go ham and go hard in whatever job I wind up having. The only thing I'm concerned about is Planet Fitness is already ready to hire me and take me on. And not to sound all woo-woo-y, but to me it almost kind of felt like the quickness of how Planet Fitness was ready to take me on, almost felt like the Matrix, like trying to plug me back in. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but that's literally what it felt like. It felt like everything was like conspiring. Everything was conspiring to be like, yes, 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 put her back into this Matrix, put her back into the Matrix. We don't need her out of it. We don't need her out of the Matrix. So I was kind of sitting with that feeling that I got of like, why is it so easy to go back into such a corporate field, but it's so difficult to go into a field of things that you want to do? I guess it's easier when you know that field. And for me, it's like the field is large. Like, there's so many things that I like doing and want to do and feel inspired to do and moved to do. That's why I feel such a difficulty in being niche. I don't really know what niche is, but yeah, I just like so many things. I don't really know what the thing is, but I'm not going to keep rambling. I'm about to DoorDash, and I will continue this little series after I go in person to the second interview tomorrow. Hey guys, it's me again. So last time I saw you, I was about to go DoorDashing, which I just finished doing. It looks like I'm kind of in the Matrix right now, and on my very last order of the night, the last one I was going to take because it was on the way home, I was trying to press accelerate to leave from Taco Bell and go into the median, and the car stopped accelerating and it would not go forward and drive. So I put it into park and it stayed, thank God. I put it in reverse. I tried to put it back in drive, didn't work. Turned off the car, turned it back on, tried to put it in drive, didn't work. Tried to go into third, didn't work. I put it down into second because something just told me, just try second. And it moved, so I took it. I obviously wasn't going super fast. I drove slow. Dropped off the final DoorDash order, and then I just found this parking lot, which happened to have this bus that I saw earlier in the day when I was DoorDashing. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go check it out at another time. And here I am. I just don't feel like kind of being out looking at it at this time. But it's right there. It looks like it's in good condition. I don't know if anyone's been using it. But anyhow, I'm letting the truck cool off. I looked underneath the vehicle. Nothing looks crazy. I opened up the hood, and it does kind of look like something, like one of the piston heads is exposed. If that's what a piston head is, if what I think I'm looking at is what I'm looking at. So I don't think anything happens by chance. I don't believe in coincidences. And so I was kind of sitting here and thinking about all the angel numbers I saw while I was on the road. I was relaxed for most of my drive. I was chilling. I kind of was, rushing at the end because I was just ready to be done. But the car not driving just took me back to all of my dreams that I've had. You know, those dreams where you're driving and like you try to go fast and you can't, or you try to accelerate and it doesn't. I had this one horrible one where I was trying to drive forward and the car kept going backwards, but I was still on a road, so I had to like hurry up and figure out how to navigate driving backwards. And now that I think about it, the person that I was dating at the time was very symbolic why that was happening. But so I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm not supposed to be DoorDashing anymore. Is that what Spirit is trying to tell me? Stop trying to make DoorDash happen. It's not going to happen kind of vibe. I was just doing it in the meantime to make some extra money on the side. I guess I'm not supposed to be doing that. I kind of feel brave enough to go look at this bus while I'm on the recording, which I know makes no sense because if someone were to come and murder me, they would still, have my phone. But I'm just going to take a quick peek. I'm waiting for my mom to call me back so that I can, whatchamacallit? Windshield Express. Oh, maybe it's owned by these people. It's in good condition, for the most part. I mean, I know what to look for now. There it is. I'm not seeing any gaps. Good seals. The body looks good. 223 was its last check, so it's been a while. Little Tykes Family Care. It doesn't look like it's being used. It's a GMC 3500. I think that's the kind of van we have now, actually. Little Tykes. Oh, right here. Actually, they may use it. They got a little car right there. Well, you know, you can never know unless you ask. But I'm just letting the vehicle cool so I don't overdo it. And I'm also kind of trying to wait for all these mad drivers, even though it's technically not fast. It's just fast considering how fast I'm able to go. And when I was like, I had my hazards on and driving, people were getting real annoyed even though I was in the right lane. I'm like, what else do you want me to do? I have hazards on. That should let you know something is going on. Anyway, so yeah, this is what's been happening since I DoorDashed today. The DoorDashes were pretty chill for the most part. Got to listen to some cool music, and the last guy ordered like so much Gatorade. I was like, who drinks this much Gatorade? He ordered Gatorade from a gas station, and then he ordered Gatorade from Taco Bell. And I was like, okay. But anyhow, I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit more, see if my mom answers the phone. I think she already may have gone to bed. Make it to the house. I'm supposed to drive this to my interview tomorrow. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'll check in later. Everything is working out. Best case scenario. I have my hazards on. It's pretty chill on my road right now. I only have 13 miles to get to the house. I'm just gonna take my time and no one's gonna flip and rush me. Amen. I made it back alive, one piece. With only a couple of cars who don't seem to understand what hazard lights mean, but that's okay. I was pretty protected most of the way. I'm still trying to figure out if it was because it needs an oil change or if something else happened to the engine. That's the car I'm supposed to be taking for the interview. So now I'm just like real confused. I just applied to 2 places, got interviews at both places, and now the vehicle that's supposed to get me there said, as I look over at my little lap harp. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do it. I was gonna like take the sound that I heard from the lap harp that I wanted to create, make a loop of that, and then I had this song that I heard over the harp. I wanted to make a loop of that and like build on it, but I don't have a looping machine yet, which was part of the reason why I was gonna like go get a high-paying job so I could pay off my debts and afford the instruments that I would like to have to do that, because there's so many sounds that I hear at once and I can't do them all at the same time. So but I made it. I don't know what I'm going to do in the morning. Or in the afternoon. The interview's in the afternoon. I don't know what I'm going to do. When things like this pop up. But yeah, and then I saw a possum on the way home, and it was like, lay low, chill. Things are still unfolding. I'm like, well, everyone around me is telling me to go ahead and get on it, so... The thing that piqued my interest the most tonight was that little school bus. I still definitely will want to have just like a little home on wheels, so I can just at least go live somewhere, or maybe I can find a job that I would like that perfectly fits my needs. But I still don't know what's going on, man. Okay. See you in the morning. Okay, so it's not the morning. It's now the night of the next day. I woke up, my mom is coming, hold on a second. Okay, so it's not the next morning, it is the night of the next day. Did not get to go to my interview. The vehicle is not here. It would usually be parked right there. My mom had to work on site today, so she needed her car. This car, the car that I'm currently renovating, or trying to renovate, contemplating renovating. Well, it's super dark in here. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see. Yeah, you can't see right now. I've had other videos of it, but see if you can see my face. Yeah, so that's gonna turn off and then you're not gonna be able to see me anyway. Oh Lord, help me. So my mom had to work on site today, which meant I didn't have a car, and she was not going to get off until she basically got home at the time of my interview. So I reached out to the girl. She was interviewing me over the phone, and they have multiple locations, so I didn't know which one to call to tell her. So I just sent her an email from the email she messaged me from and let her know what was going on and that I wasn't going to be able to make it. Was there any way we could reschedule? But what I didn't tell you last night that I found out after I found it out after I stopped recording when I was sitting in the parking lot with the bus, and then didn't talk about it when I got home, but I was sitting with it. When I was sitting in the parking lot where the bus was, when I looked at the map to try and figure out how to get back, because it was trying to have me drive on the highway to get home, and I was like, there's no way I'm about to do that. When I was looking at the map, I realized that the place I was going for the interview was literally right across the street. And then when I thought about that, I realized earlier when I was door dashing and I passed by, I was like, oh, look, there's a place I'm supposed to work at. There were a bunch of cops there that were arresting people on the side of the building. And I was like, what's happening? For me, something I didn't explain was that while I was on my final dash, I was dashing, but there was like a live from this channel I follow, JK Ultra, and she was doing a pick a card or pick a book from the message for your message from the Pleiadians, and I was literally just like listening to the pick a book message for me as all this stuff started happening. And so I couldn't even really receive what she was saying. I turned it off, but I didn't find it. I don't believe in coincidence, so I passed by the job, see the people getting arrested on the side of the building, and then I'm dashing. I see the bus. I said, oh, maybe that'd be cool to check out later. Vehicle starts breaking down, and I pull it off into literally the parking lot I saw right there, which is where the bus was, which was actually right next to the place I'm supposed to have my interview. And as I was sitting there and the car wasn't working, I was like, why does this keep happening? And to me, like, if I was a spirit guide and I was trying to get someone to not do something, I would make their means of going to go do something difficult. That's how I would do it. I'd be like, oh, if I don't really want her to work there, what can I do to really stop her from doing it? Because she's going real gung-ho right now, and she's a good worker, and she has open availability. Like, obviously, they're going to hire her. I'm just make her car not work, so she can't go. So I messaged her, and then I messaged the people that I interviewed with on Monday and let them know, because they still really want to hire me and want to take me on by Monday. And the only thing I'm really learning from this experience is that I'm worth more than what anyone can pay me. And that's not out of like an ego. That's like understanding the value of us as humans and what we can really do here. And I know that I can be of service no matter where I work. And I've been learning that. They've been speaking about that at church, that sometimes your calling can be done within mundane work. So I do still honor that truth. But also, as I've been putting these feelers out and seeing how quick people are to hire me, I'm like, yeah, I'm very like hireable. So like, how can I take all of this hireable energy and just like hire myself to do something? I don't know if that's how it's going to work out, but it made me realize that I'm worth more than $14 an hour. And I was getting 16 at one job. I was getting 20 at another. So like, I know I hold a lot of value and I get a lot done within an hour. So I don't know what's going to happen now. I was looking at jobs last night on Indeed and sitting with all the things that I said I wanted to share on my channel, if I'm really sharing them. And this is, like I said, going to be a little chronicle. I'm just going to compile all this together for a little playlist of like, this is what's happened with me trying to go back into the work field. What actually happens at the end of all this? So that you can kind of see all the pieces that come together, instead of just seeing one part where I struggle and then one part where everything's easy. The middle is the meat, the most interesting treat for everyone. So I'm in the middle of the meat right now, and it's difficult to like, you know how they say, and I'm going to end it here because I don't want this to be so long. When they say like, if you're trying to figure out how to decide which thing you want to do or which thing you want to choose, you can say like heads or tails. You can pick one, and then if you chose like this is heads, this is tails, and then you get heads and you see your reaction is like, oh no, I don't want that, then you understand what it is you really want. That's what it's been like for me. It's like, okay, Heads is this job, tails is this job, and I don't want either one. So I'm still fine-tuning what it is that I'm seeking and searching for. I will keep you updated.